Hey guys, I am here with one of those energetic updates that I said that I would have for y'all. It's actually based off of a couple dreams that I had back to back. That's a really common way that God speaks to me is through my dreams. And so I wanted to share them with y'all and see if, hopefully there was someone in here that they would apply to and help. So, in short, I was the main character in the dream, but I knew even in the dream that this was about the collective. And the dream was a little intense. And so I hesitate to overshare too many of the details, because if you don't have a lot of dreams like this, it could be just the dream itself could be distracting from the message that I actually want to bring. I have had these types of dreams for years and years and years and years. And so it's over that time I have learned that God speaks to me through these crazy symbolic dreams. Almost never are they just taken literally or as they appear. There's decoding and deciphering. And so anyway, I'm not gonna give too many details about it, because I don't want you to get caught up in the details. I want you to kind of just get caught up in the message and what I feel like it means. But I need to share a little bit, that way you can understand. So in the dream, I was sick, really sick. And I had this kind of growth, tumor big on me. And guys, I'm going to use my notes heavily here because I just don't want to forget anything. So anyway, I had this growth, and in the dream, I was very aware that I was kind of milking my sickness, so to speak. And I know that sounds bad, but it was very much I was having people in the dream do things for me that I actually could have done. Even sick, I could have done them, but I was kind of using the sickness as will you please do this for me, or whatever, even though I really could have done it. And something happened, and I can't remember this part. I just know that there was this huge shift, and all of a sudden I did not have to have that growth anymore. And what I forgot to mention was that doctors had even given me a specific amount of time to live. This thing was going to take me over. So fast forward, now I'm in this almost choice point of, do I want to continue down this path with this growth and sickness, or do I want to be well and healed? And obviously, in my awake state, if I had something like that going on, of course, my response would be well, yes, I want to be healed. But in the dream, I was aware of and kind of just watching my thoughts and feelings in the dream. And in the dream, I was oh my God, I don't have to have this anymore. Who am I without it? I don't know who I am without it. I actually feel afraid. And if I let this go, I knew in the dream that if I let it go, that I would have to step into my own power in a greater way. I would have to take steps towards things, work at things, own myself and my circumstances. And it really was a reclamation of power. Was I going to choose to have this reclamation of personal power? And so in my dream, I knew that my growth, this will be different for other people, but in my dream, I knew that this applied to a victimhood. And have I gone through horrible and tragic things in my life? Yes, we all have. But this dream made me realize that I was so identified with those things that I had been through, that they became a part of me in a way that they were not meant to be. I became inseparable from them, enmeshed in them. I was enmeshed in my own story in a way that I wasn't meant to be. And what did I say here? I said I was over-identified with my story and my suffering. And life became so scary for me that I gave up my power. And I also knew, don't ask me how I know, because I don't know, but it just, in the dream I knew that also this applied to like an ancestral thing, like this ancestral victimhood that I already had. And so when I went through something, and this was like 20 years ago, I know what the event was, when I went through something really tragic, it was easier, because I already had that kind of ancestral thing of victimhood, it was easier for me to just step into that place for myself. So when God shows me things like that in dreams, like brings awareness to me about myself, there's never shame involved. It's more like God's holding up this mirror and showing me parts of myself that I was just completely unaware of. And it's like this, like, oh my God, I had no idea I was doing that, or living like that, or acting this way. I had no idea. And so again, there's never shame with it. There's a difference between like condemnation and conviction. It's more of like hey, here's this thing, like, I love you. I know exactly why you've been living this way. Look at all that's happened, but look how much you've grown. Like, you don't have to do this anymore. You don't have to live like this anymore. And let's see. Sorry, I just want to make sure I don't miss anything. So when I have a dream like that, where I feel like I'm being called out, I'm grateful, because it feels like I'm just being given this opportunity to grow. And so I had a conversation with God, and I was like, okay, like, I see now in what areas of my life I'm playing the victim. Like, is he saying that I'm acting like this across all areas of my life? No, I know it's only certain areas, and who knows, maybe in another dream it would be something that is in all areas of my life. This is like in certain spots. But there's certain areas where I can see that I've given up my power, where I've kept myself really small. And so I chose to just break agreement with that victimhood. And I broke agreement even just with victimhood in my ancestral line. And I said, I'm like, I'm scared. I don't know what living without this will look like. I don't know what it's going to look like for me to step into my own power. I don't know like what taking ownership in this area is going to look like. And that feels a little scary for me, but I'm trusting that if you have brought this to my attention, then like step by step, you're going to teach me and show me the way and show me how to move through that. And something had to have happened, because I cried for like 3 hours after that. And I am not a crier. Again, probably goes back to the things that I went through so long ago. Like, crying just doesn't come very easy to me. I just cried and cried and cried. And hours later, I decided to pull an oracle card, which I don't use them all the time. And I'd actually, when I was going to pull a card, forgot about the dream, because I feel like I had already processed through it and had that big release. And so I grabbed one of the oracle card decks, and I said, okay, God, like, what is it that you want me to know most right now? And wouldn't you know, I got, let's see, can you see this? The Break the Chain card. Hold on, this way. Okay, so you can see it says ancestral patterns, healing, rewriting the future. And like I said, I had just heard and gone through this thing about something in my ancestral line and healing these things in myself. And this is from the Rebecca Campbell Work Your Light deck. So beautiful, right? And so the card talks about being called to heal your family line or free yourself from something. So that could look like letting go of an old pattern, or observing and releasing old ways of being that no longer serve you, which again, like, that is what the card says. And that is exactly what was happening in my dream time. And I was just so excited about that, at how confirmational that was. And that next night, I go to sleep and I have another dream. And I was shown over and over all the ways like control shows up in my life. Like where I'm acting in a way that's almost kind of like OCD, like because of a lack of control, I'm acting in this kind of controlling way. Again, I know it like sounds bad but it like felt so good to be aware of this. And I knew again that it had to do with that trauma that I had already mentioned from 20 years ago. Like when I had gone through that, I had no idea about victim mentality or anything like that. And so that's when my identification with being a victim crept in. And then as a result, I did 100% develop some type of like control or OCD tendencies because I felt so massively unsafe in my life. And so, again, I was being asked to like let go of these types of responses. And it was just so crazy because that whole morning, every time I was going to say something to my kids, not every time, but a lot of the time, I was like, oh my God, like I'm saying this out of that control. Like I can say this, I can approach this whole situation so differently. And it was just another one of those kind of aha moments. And I did the same thing where I'm like, okay, God, like this isn't how I want to show up in my life. Like I release this, help me with this. And so this card encourages you to seek assistance if you need, like from someone close to you, someone in your tribe, this community, if you need help with that kind of a release, or you can do what I did and just have that conversation with God about what you're wanting to let go of, like what way of being that's no longer serving you. And so, yes, the question that I want to leave you with is this: is there a way of being or a pattern in your life or in your family line that's come to your awareness that you want to be free from? Right now, it's just the timing. Like, there is something about God's Spirit moving in this way massively right now. It's just like a big opportunity to have that type of freedom that you're wanting. So I encourage you to ask yourself that question, ask God that question, like, hey, is there something you want to show me here that it's time to let go of? And yeah, I'm excited for you. I want the same freedom for you that I'm finding for myself. And if you need any help in this process, just feel free to reach out to any one of us. So thank you so much.